Hey there, it's Marvin Dejon coming back to you again with another vlog about writing stuff, filmmaking stuff, and general life stuff. I also got an update about the name of this here endeavor. You ready? Let's get into it. I started this endeavor, I really just started it to promote my film Cruel Ambition. By the way, Cruel Ambition is out now on Tubi, Amazon Prime, and Vudu. It's going to drop on a few more platforms in the coming weeks. And where can you find out where those will be? Right here on this vlog. So in naming the vlog, I really didn't want the name to be my name. The company name's already my name, Marvin Dejon. I wanted it to, though, reflect kind of the space I'm trying to create. I'm creating a space that I can show up 100% Marvin and talk to those that are following me on this journey. And I was wondering, okay, where have I been able to show up 100% me that would show meaning into the name of this vlog series? And so the only place outside of my own house that I felt like I could just show up as 100% Marvin was my grandmother's backyard. And thus, the backyard vlog with Marvin Dejon. See what I did there? In these vlogs, I'm going to show up to you 100% Marvin every first and third Friday. Maybe more in the coming years, but as of right now, the first and third Friday, I'm going to show up as 100% me and talk about writing stuff, filmmaking stuff, and life stuff. And you're either going to like me or you don't. My influences are Guiding Light, Robert McKee, and life itself. Guiding Light, because at the age of 8 years old, I got so deep into that show during that summer, it just kind of stuck with me. And from then, I felt like they had enough black characters, but they didn't have enough for me. So I wanted to do my own version of it with more black characters, and it revolved around them. And so as I did that, it made me get deeper into that world and creating my own soap and creating my own place where I can tell stories. And in doing that, I would read Soap Opera Digest, Soap Opera Weekly, those types of, soap opera trades about, different things that were going on the show and on other shows. And because of that, I got to understand story differently, because those books would break down why the shows weren't working, what they need to do to fix them, the cast changes, all of those things. It would get a little messy too. But then also in the back of the book, it would break down that week's story and kind of what happened. And of course, back then you didn't have cell phones, when I was growing up. So those books literally got me through toilet time. And so I enjoyed them because it allowed me to understand story in a different way, in addition to learning about what's going on my favorite show. Now, Robert McKee, that's a completely different weird subject, right? Well, who is Robert McKee? Well, Robert McKee is an author. He is the author of the books Story, Dialogue, Character, and his newest one is Action. I haven't gotten to check that one out just yet. But those first three books, Story, Dialogue, and Character, are mainstays in my library. Like, I read them regularly because that man breaks down the craft of writing so deeply that it's like, damn, bro, like, is it that deep? But then when you go to reading scripts and you go to, kind of understanding certain things, you get it. You're like, I get it, Robert. I get it. And so I'm very influenced by those books and the books that he created. And they really helped me truly understand the work that I do. And then there's just real life itself. Real life is such an influence, an inspiration. It's everything. Because one thing I pride myself on being is a pretty good listener. I will literally listen to anybody's story. You can come up out of nowhere and be like, oh my God, I just went through this today. I'm going to sit there and be like, tell me more. And some people don't really like talking to me like that, because then they're like, I don't want to be in your story. Everything has a price. But real life itself is probably the most dramatic thing. Now, not to get too messy, but I will say one thing that really showed me that real life can rival art was a messy church breakup when I was a teenager. When I tell you, God and Light didn't have a candle on that. And it literally made me see that yeah, real life is way more interesting than stuff like Power Rangers to me. Like, I wasn't that kid that was like, I want to go watch Power Rangers. I want to go watch. No, I was like, so what happened on Guiding Light today, Ma? Because I was at school, I didn't get to see it, but when the summer was there, I was in front of that TV. So those things have inspired me and influenced me as a creative to continue forward. And real life just inspires me and influences my writing every single day. And I think that any writer worth a damn should be able to just look at real life and say, okay, I can pull from that. Ooh, I can pull from that. Ooh. Hey, friend, you going through something? Oh, I'm so sad you're going through that. I'm just saying. Style is a very precarious term when it comes to creativity because some people rest on style and they're not very good at the craft. I'm a purist in that way. I'm all about being good at the craft. So if I'm working with actors, they need to be about their craft of acting. If I'm working with other writers, they need to be about the craft of writing. If you're not about the craft, then what the fuck are you doing? So for me, that's, king. But when I think about my own personal style, I think realism. I think realistic. I want people to see something of mine and say, wow, this feels like I'm a voyeur almost. Like, this feels like I'm watching somebody's life, but it's so good. It's so interesting. And so that's kind of what I guess my personal style is that I want it to feel realistic. I want it to feel like it's something somebody has gone through, or maybe it is something somebody has gone through. But I want it to feel like you're watching someone's life, and I want you drawn into that. And so when I work with actors, I push them. I push them to give me the most realistic reaction or response or performance possible. And sometimes that works, and sometimes they get mad at me. But how about you hear from the cast of Cruel Ambition what that's like?
I like the man's passion and his desire to put out good work. I like his ability to craft a story, and I like the drive and the intensity that he has when he's on set and when he's not on set, because he's always trying to make things perfect.
He's scary. Not like scary like that, but like just the writing, the way that you see a story. If he wrote a book, I would definitely read it. But the mindset of him, no, it's like, damn, this dude is genius. Scary genius.
Like an older brother to me, creative genius. I've said that since day one that I met him. He has a very unique writing style that I adore and is very rare out in this industry here in Dallas, Texas. I love how he tells stories. I love the dark side to his writing. And I think he's just awesome.
He's tough. Like it's definitely tough working with him. I would say some of my toughest projects have been with him. But the projects that I've grown on the most have been with him as well. So I appreciate it. At the end of the day, we all understand that he wants what's best for the project, and we got to take ourselves individually out of that.
Very simple. Be yourself. In this vlog space, I'm going to show up 100% myself, which is terrifying and hard as hell for me. Growing up a perpetual outsider, you don't know how to be yourself because people don't really, they're like, you should be this way, you should be that way. But I've never been one that kind of subscribed to that. So I've always kind of been on the outside looking in, but I've realized that's what makes me a good writer as well, is because when you can sit back and watch the show, you can tell the story. I don't say that because I want empathy or sympathy. I say that because ultimately, in whatever you do, you can only be you, whether people like you or not. And so for me, in this space that I'm in, approaching the big 4-0, I refuse to no longer be authentically Marvin. So I'm just saying, as I'm on this journey saying I'm not going to be anybody but MD, I'm asking you to be just you. Learn to live your truth. Your truth, whatever that truth is. We are living in such a divisive society that, oh my God, this happens, and oh my God, that. Just be you. Everybody else is taken, and you don't even want to be them any damn way because their breath probably stank. But ultimately, just be you. So whatever that looks like, whatever it is you're going through, whatever it is you're afraid to do because you're going to be judged or because people are going to talk about you, they're going to talk anyway. That's all people do. So just be you. Damn what everybody thinks. That's what I'm learning. I used to just sit in, I can only do it when I'm skinny. I can only do it this way. I can only do it that way. Now, as I approach the big 4th decade, I'm recognizing none of that shit matters. Because when the day is done, i.e., when I'm being put into the grave, none of it will matter. So show up as you. Be you. So that's it. That's all. I'm going to be back with you on 3rd Friday to discuss, my next projects and Lover's Revenge. In the meantime, check out Cruel Ambition on Tubi, Amazon Prime, and Vudu. Lover's Revenge is also on Tubi and Amazon Prime. Check them both out. Do a Marvin Dejon double feature. Until 3rd Friday, it's been real. And how about you go out and make it a great day?